Yo, Shalom. All praises to the Most High. Yehovah Yehoshua. This is Sounds from YYBY. Happy Shabbat. These features that I'm about to talk about, man, I'm sure they're not hard to emulate and put inside Reason. I'm sure they're not. We can never go wrong with workflow, right? We can never go wrong with workflow, especially if it's workflow where you keep one way and then you just add another way and you got an option to choose between those ways. I mean, it's pros and cons to that too, because some people want that. But sometimes when if you have it both ways, it can cause clutter. That's why a lot of DAWs be cluttered and people be like, well, the DAW too cluttered. It got too much stuff in it, too much stuff going on. It's kind of like some people like it's too much and some people like it's too less. So, that's a tricky situation, bro. That's why I think sometimes Reason try to keep it simplified, as where they add something and they take the original away from y'all, from us, because they like, why add so much, keep all that in there. It could be one of those reasons why, But now, these multitasking features, if we add these, I think it's. I'm sure most people agree to this, man. I'm sure, man. So let's go and get straight to the point, right? The first one I want to start with is the wires, right? So let's say somebody drop an audio in a bass, and the bass is stereo, and you want to convert that bass to mono. And we know that when you convert it to mono, you got, what I normally do, just to give you an example, let's go to sequencer right quick. What I normally do, anything that I want to convert to mono, if it's already bass, I'll be like bass, mono. I name whatever I want to convert to mono. Why? Because when I go to the rack and then I turn it around, I can identify the stuff that's mono, right? All right, so cool. All right, now this is the thing right here. This is normally when you dropping samples in. You want to convert it to mono. Well, sometimes it's even audio too. All right, so now, what you normally have to do, you have to go hold shift and then go right here, left and right like that. And you have to do each one of those tracks that you want to convert to mono. And once you do that, y'all know the process. You go right here, file, you go to bounce mixer channels, and you select that. See, it say bass mono, you select bass mono, loop to left locator. I like to bring it back in, a little higher, bit rate, or keep it the same, definitely 24, and then you got to make sure you set, you select the right one on this to convert it to mono, right? And then drop it in that mono, then mute the other track, A, B, C, and D. You can delete it. Simple, right? But the problem, what happens that when it gets to a point where you got to do a lot of tracks, it'd be dope if, for example, like if I had this, the multitasking concept. If I got both of these tracks right here, right? And let's say both of these, and I select this one and I select that one. And then when I hold shift and I go over like this, it'd be dope if it do both like that. Instead of me doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because what if I'm working on something where, I'm just, working on some audio files that I just want to convert, and I'm making me a sound pack or some shit, so that simple little feature right there is very important. They can multitask that, it's called the insert, the insert part. Let me make sure I read it right quick. Yeah. I mean, even vice versa, even if you want it to be stereo, you want to convert it to stereo. The point is that you can grab all these, whatever tracks you selected, you can grab it, hold shift, and it'll do all two at the same time simultaneously, right? That's one thing. All right, let's go to the next option. So when we go to the mixer, right? Let me add some tracks right quick because the screen in the way. All right, so when we go to the mixer, right, we know if I select all these tracks, we know the mute work, okay, the solo work, and then this work, which is dope, which is amazing. Why stop right there? It'd be amazing if they do the game that way. If I got all these tracks selected, I could do the game, because sometimes I might need to just gain all those at the same time, bring all the level of those, down to the same level. Just something quick, real quick, or or even pressing turn the compressors on, or turn the peak on, because a lot of the times if I turn this on, that means I got to turn this one on, turn that one on, boom, boom, boom. And that can get real tedious when you having a lot of tracks. And sometimes I mix tracks like 40, 50 tracks, right? Which I do appreciate doing it the long way. It make you appreciate the work more, but sometimes you try and get things done a little faster. Any of these knobs, because normally what you got to do, you got to right click. Once you set this track, you got right click. You got to right click the track. Excuse me. And then go to copy all, or you could select individuals and copy all, or insert, filter, EQ, dynamic. And then after that, once you copy it, you go to the next track, paste, next track, paste, next track, paste, next track, paste, next track, paste. Like, what the fuck, bro? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. So yeah, even if these knobs, if I highlight all these tracks and I want to just turn, the reverb on all these tracks, I press it one time. And it'll turn all these on, or the knobs, turn the level knob, or each one, all these at the same time simultaneously. Simple things like that, or bypass all these simultaneously, even though you got the bypass right here to turn all of them off, so that's pretty good. At least you got the bypass over here. That's good. Yeah, simple things like that. That's for the mixer. All right, now. Let's go back to the rack. All right, so now, all these tracks right here, if I right click and I, hold shift, grab all those tracks. If I do like this, if I hold shift, hold on, let me hold those, and I hold alt, it'll drop all those down, right, like that, which is dope. I like that. Now, I wish we can do it with the show insert effects. So, because if I hold alt and select this, it'll only open up one. Even if I hold shift, it opens up one. So it'd be dope if I select all these tracks, hold alt, and it open up all these like this. Why? Because this help organize your stuff. Because reason can get tedious, man. I'm pretty good at organizing because my workflow, the way I move. I use certain things very important, but on the rack, it'll be nice. Sometimes you might want to close these up. I get it. Of course you can minimize those like we already did, select that and hold alt and like that. But sometimes, you just want to keep that open so you can see these knobs and tweak these knobs, but you might want to open, these up right here just to kind of get an idea, what you looking at, and then close them back up. That's just showing the effects. Because you might have effects in here, well, of course you have effects in here. So you might have effects in there. You might have effects in this track, and sometimes you might just want to close those up, and open them back up. Instead of going one by one, open up the show insert FX. That'd be a feature. Come on, Reason. Like, that'd be a dope feature to add to that, man. Okay, okay, yeah. So now, right here in the rack, we can do it inside the mixer, which I showed y'all. But in the rack, I can't grab these tracks and do the levels, the volumes over here. I can't do that simultaneously. Or the left or the pan. It should be like this even in the rack. With the mixer levels, the pan, all the buttons on here. This helps a lot with workflow. I'm telling y'all. This is features that will make so much sense of helping you out, using Reason. Another feature, when you go to the sequencer, right? If I select all these tracks, if I highlight all these, if I press mute, it won't mute all those tracks. They should have the option right here where you could, whatever I selected, I should be able to mute all those tracks, solo all those tracks. You get what I'm saying? Or hold alt or something. It's no feature that does that. It's nothing. It's just only this. So that means I gotta go. Even though I do this, the good thing about it is that when you go to the mixer, now that matter of fact, see, this don't even count. The mute all off and the solo all off only works for the mixer. So really, it serves no point. It serves no point when you go right here. When I'm right here, this serves no point. This only for the mixer. Now, I try to wrap my head around like why, sometimes the mixer is not connecting with the tracks. I'm still trying to understand the concept. I forgot what it was, but it's something why they connect with each other, but it's for a reason why they don't fully connect with each other, if that makes sense. Like for example, like see, I got these mute. The tracks on the mixer is not mute. But if I mute these, you still won't hear it on the tracks. So you can mute all of them off and solo all of them off, but you can't mute all of them on and solo all of them on. That's the problem. So now if I mute these, you won't see nothing right here on none of these tracks. So I think it's for a very important reason. I think it got something to do with the rack. But now when you go to now when you turn these on and off right here, now the mixer is connected to the tracks inside the rack, but they all the same. So look, if anybody can understand why they did this concept like this, because I know I was messing with it, and I'm like, okay, I get it, but at the same time, I really don't. But I know it was for some reason I got to go back and tap into it. But if school me, put me on game, because again, the mixer mutes all work with the rack. But when it comes to the sequencer of the same tracks, it's not that way. But it's a reason for it like that, but I just forgot what it was. So yeah, simultaneously when it comes to the mute on the track. And then the last thing, when you a combinator in a combinator. I don't know how they might do that, but that'd be crazy. Because why is because so for example, let's say I got a combinator instrument. Let's say I have a combinator. Let's go to a combinator instrument. I'm gonna give you all a simple example. Let's go to a combinator, and let's go drop this acoustic bass in, right? And you go open it up. Now you'll see everything that comes with that acoustic bass. Got the effects, blah, 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 stuff like that. Cool. All right, now this is about the organized part. It's very important. It's about just keeping everything organized, not confusing you. So now what if I get a combinator that's an effect, right? Now, if I go right here, utilities, and just go grab it, say this combinator is an effect that I use. Now I could drop it right here, but it's gonna create its own track. When you create that combinator, it's gonna create its own track, which is still good. But if this combinator is some crazy effects that I put together, and I want to just keep them organized. So when I drop that combinator inside of this instrument, I know when I see it won't confuse me. I can identify what's what easily. Because the combinator sitting right here, I know it's a reverb, and I know the reverb got some crazy concepts that I created in there, and it all connects to this bass combinator. You get what I'm saying? Like, so that'd be a dope idea. Like, for example, see how these in here? Like if I get, let me see if I can try it. Right click, and then I press see combine. Hold on, what it do? See, it's already in a combinator, so it won't work. Let me see. Combine. Right, of course. I think they coming with this with the next features for the combinator. So That'd be an amazing feature. Like, I'm gonna be real with you. Like, I'm gonna be real with y'all. Reason these little features right here, I buy the update. Like, it don't have to be in no free update. I would buy that. Like, I buy it ASAP. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm trying to tell y'all, and I'm sure most people on the same page with it, you know, because that's how much they probably really want it. You know, I'm sure there's many other things that they want also personally. Oh yeah, jot down at the bottom also what features that you think Reason should have, bro. And listen, this video is not for us to argue about it because I don't own Reason. This video is to inspire Reason and to show them that we are fans of the dog and we don't want to use no other dog, you know, and we like the whole concept. There's no other dog like Reason, first of all, you know, and we don't want to go to other dogs to accomplish certain things. We want to stay right here. But the key thing is that y'all have to, man, y'all have to write them. Y'all have to, like, if I'm talking about this stuff or anybody, you agree with it, you have to write them and send them a note saying, hey, listen, we're looking for these features. And you got to do it all the time. Sorry, you got to stalk them. You got to bug them. Like, listen, because like they said, well, this feature right here we put in the DAWs requested feature what everybody say they want it. You know, everybody say they want it. Okay, I don't know how true that is, but there you go. So now since they putting features in that and they saying that everybody say they want it, I think if we sit here and do this thoroughly, you know, then they're added in there. I truly really don't think that people hit them up enough. I think we get too lazy and content. Like, nah, we're just going to cry about it or go to somebody else's page and argue with them about it, you know, because they talking about it. But that don't change nothing. You got to talk to Reason. You know what I'm saying? So we got to share him this video. We got to show him this video. We got to show him, like, look, Reason. Yo, look at this guy on this video. Look what he's showing. Like, look at the concept. He gave us, this is an idea to put out. That's what we got to do, man. If you got any other ideas and any other features, drop it down at the bottom. Shalom. This is YYBY.